The day is almost here. We are this much closer to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct next week. But as we get closer to this long-awaited day, we may have the release date and the slate of games coming this year. So let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. So it's very hard to believe we are that much closer to the Switch 2 Direct, and with that, it means we are closer to actually getting hands-on experience with this device. Before we get all that, I think I wanted to put this idea on your radar, and who knows, by the time I release this video, the news might have already dropped. And the news here is Nintendo is looking to apparently hold another Direct this week. What it's focused on, I have no idea. This news comes to us from Nate the Hate, where he had heard rumblings that a Nintendo presentation might be going down this week, and I think he's saying on Thursday. Now for this bit of news, I say do what you want with it, mainly because I do think this event, if it does go down on Thursday, it's gonna be a Switch 1 focused event, and most likely will be full of smaller scale games or even things coming to NSO, which I'm still holding out hope for DK64. I also think Nintendo kinda wants to do this in order to keep next week's show primarily focused on the Switch 2 alone, so kinda getting all of your Switch 1 stuff out of the way earlier, that's a pretty smart move. So that brings us to hopefully what is the last bit of Switch 2 rumor mill news, and this bit of news is pretty damn welcoming. Now, this report does come to us from Insider Gaming's own Tom Henderson, where he happened to be spending a lot of time roaming the streets of GDC, where he did happen to pick up on some news regarding next week's show. Up first, one of the discussions being had around GDC is the Nintendo Switch 2's launch date will fall within the month of June. Now, as for my 2 cents on this all, I think that's a good time to drop a console like this. Primarily because this is a family device at the end of the day. The casual gamers will get it. And whenever you talk about June, at least here in the United States, that's when kids get off of school. So whenever they get off school, they have this brand new device, and they have plenty of games. Now, speaking of games, what games are they going to be playing on the Switch 2? Outside of what is the next Mario Kart, which was shown in the original teaser trailer, we really don't know. Of course, rumors are swirling that a brand new 3D Mario game are coming, and if I was a betting man, I'd say, yeah, that's pretty likely. But as for the rest of the Switch 2's infant days, Tom Henderson has a ballpark figure of what the rest of the year could look like for Nintendo. Quote, according to sources, the second stage will arrive in October to November, and this is for third-party studios, most of which are expecting the dev kits for the Switch 2 to be sent in June. Finally, it was said that the third phase for games will be the holiday period. Now, at face value, that does sound like the ideal year for Nintendo. Now we're gonna get into what I think is gonna be the Switch 2's official launch lineup, and then kind of sprinkle in some games throughout the year. So as for day one games, I'm talking about you go to GameStop or you get this console in the mail, whatever the kids are doing nowadays, these are the games that are gonna come with your console. I do think we're gonna get Mario Kart, Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon Legends ZA, and one random party game like everybody want to Switch. Now, as for that second phase of third-party games, I think this is where we do see things like Call of Duty and potentially Elden Ring coming to the Switch 2. And for those of you who are saying, oh, Elden Ring is not gonna happen, I hear ya. But I look back to the Switch 1, and when we got that console, we got the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And Nintendo kind of used that as a showcase for what this console is capable of. And to me, Elden Ring fits that mold. It fits what the Skyrim of this generation really is. People are really into it, and whenever people do see Elden Ring running on the Switch 2, at least I hope to see it running on the Switch 2, more people are gonna hop on board. As for what that holiday stretch of games could be for Nintendo, I think this is where we see that brand new Mario game come to life. That, or I do think Pokemon Legends ZA could be swapped in here, and we could move Mario to the launch lineup, but personally, I just think that's too much Mario. I know it's weird to say for the Switch 2 and Nintendo, but you kinda get what I'm saying here. Nintendo, in my eyes, wants this burn for the Switch 2 to last as long as possible, so spacing out some heavy-hitting titles like that would do the trick. But it's safe to say I am very, very, very excited for the Switch 2. These are the reasons why I make these videos. It's for exciting news in days like this. I can't wait for the Direct. I'm gonna do a live reaction to it and kind of post it up the day of, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't piss me off in any regard, or let's just say they get wild and drop this console next year. You might see the crash out. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. What do you think? Are you excited for the Switch 2? But that about does it here. I've been K-Lo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.